Welcome to the notes on multiplying polynomials. All right, day two. Today we're going to talk specifically about special products. Okay, the first thing I want to do is I want to show you guys the FOIL method. Now, the FOIL method is just a distributive property, but I wanted to make you guys aware of it in case you heard it, you know what it means. Okay, so the FOIL method, again, it's when we're multiplying binomials. All right, it's just a distributive property, but the F stands for the first terms. Again, because when I take the first term, everything in the first has got to get multiplied by everything in the second. So when I take that first term, I multiply by 2x, all right, because I got to distribute it. It ends up being the first term. And then when I take that first term and I multiply it by the second term in the second set of parentheses, just like I normally do, that ends up being the outer terms. So that's where the O comes from. And then now that I've distributed the first term to everything in the second set of parentheses, I got to do the second term in the first set. So I multiply the 1 times the 2x. Well, those end up being the inner terms. And then when I take that 1 times the 5, those are our last terms when you look at them. So that's all FOIL stands for. Again, it's just a distributive property. You get your answers over here. You still have to combine like terms to get your final answer. Now, what I want to show you guys again is it's nothing different than what we've been doing. Again, if I have 3x plus 1 times 2x plus 5, we're going to still do what we've always done. We're taking the 3x. All right, we're going to times that by our 2x plus 5. So that would be our first and our last, first and our outer terms, what they call in FOIL. And then I'm still going to take my plus 1 and again multiply that by the 2x plus 5. When I distribute through, I'm going to get the same answer. So there you go. Now let's do a couple more examples just to make sure we got it. All right, so if you want to do the FOIL, that's fine, but I'm going to keep breaking it apart using distributive property. So I'm going to take my 5x, all right, and I'm going to times that by my x minus 2. And then I'm going to take my negative 7, and I'm going to multiply that by my x minus 2. And then I'm just going to distribute, combine like terms, and get my final answer. So here we go, 5x times x. That's going to be our 5x squared. 5x times negative 2, there's our negative 10x. Now, this is a negative 7. All right, so negative 7 times x is negative 7x. Negative 7 times negative 2. Negative times negative is positive 14. Combine our like terms, we get 5x squared minus 10 minus 7. That's negative 17x. And then there's our plus 14. Written in descending order, there's our final answer. Let's take a quick look at two more examples. All right. Now, this one, just a reminder, when you get a quantity squared, again, some people want to distribute that exponent. No, you just need to rewrite it twice. It's 3y plus 1 times 3y plus 1. So here we go. This is my blue term, right? So I take that 3, once I've rewritten it, it's just what we've been doing. I take the 3y, I multiply that by the other quantity, 3y plus 1. Then I take my plus 1 in the first, and I multiply that again by the second set of parentheses, my 3y plus 1. Distribute and solve just like we've always been we've been doing. So 3y times 3y, there's 9y squared. 3y times 1 is plus 3y. I come over here, 1 times 3y, that's another plus 3y. And then 1 times 1, that is plus 1. Combine my like terms, which are right here. So 9y squared plus 6y plus 1. Just a reminder, when you get a quantity squared, to expand it, all right? Remember what something squared is. It's itself times itself. Then final one, when you multiply the sum and difference of two terms. So notice I've got a plus b, and then I've got a minus b. So it's the same terms, one with a positive, one with a negative. You'll notice our final answer only has two terms. All right, that's a pattern I just want you guys to be aware. Let's take a look at why that is real quick. So here's my 6t. I multiply that by my second set of parentheses, 6t minus 7. And then I take my plus 7. And again, I have to multiply that by the 6t minus 7. So here we go, distribute and solve. 6t times 6t, 36t squared. All right, 6t times negative 7. Well, that's going to be negative 42t. Now I got plus 7 times 6t. That's plus 42t. And then I got plus 7 minus 7, which is negative 49. So how do we end up with only two terms? Take a look at these two middle terms, minus 42t plus 42t. That'll cancel out. That adds up to 0. So that's why those two terms drop out when we have the opposite sides. So our final answer is 36t squared minus 49. So there you have it. More multiplying polynomials, some special cases, the FOIL method, but remember that's just the distributive property.